If you guys ever wonder why I am never wearing just like a t-shirt, it's because it's freezing in our basement. I'm so cold right now. Hey guys, it is Jenna, what is up? And welcome back to the Board Game Garden and welcome to another solo gaming video. I did one of these before. I uploaded like solo games I've been enjoying and ones that I want to try, and you guys really enjoyed that one. So we're going to be doing this every single month, which I'm super excited about. It'll kind of motivate me to play more solo games, but basically every month I do a monthly overview of all the games that we played throughout the month. I did already put that one up. It is up here if you guys want to go check that out. That is just all of the games that we played in July aside from all of the solo games that I played. So in this video, we're going to be going over all the games that I played solo in July, and we'll be doing this every month as well. So I'm super excited. If you guys saw the games that we played in June, the monthly overview video for that, I mentioned that in July, I wanted to challenge myself to play more solo games. And now that July is over, I can say that I successfully completed the July solo gaming challenge. I played a total of 14 times. I have 10 games in front of me, but I played a few of those multiple times solos. So without further ado, let's quickly go through all 10 of these games. I'm not gonna go full on into each of the games, but I will give you a brief overview of each of them and just, you know, how I felt about them. So without further ado, let's get into these 10 games that I played in the month of July. So first up, I wanted to go through a few games that I have already in the past played solo and chatted about in the last video, but I played another game of Parks by Keymaster Games. This game is so much fun solo. I played this on stream solo for the first time. I immensely enjoyed myself. I don't know if that's the correct word to say, but really enjoyed myself, and I played it again solo in July, and I am so excited to get my hands on both the Nightfall expansion and the Wildlife expansion eventually. I would love to try those out solo with Parks, so it's definitely going to be on my wish list to get those. And yeah, Parks is just so much fun. I do prefer it at lower player counts, like solo and 2-player. We played it 5-player and I didn't really enjoy it at 5 players. So I do think that I'm going to stick to playing Parks either solo or 2 players. Maybe we'll try it 3 and 4, we will see, but I really overall enjoy it solo. So that is Parks. Next up is another game that I played solo before and chatted about, and that is Tiny Towns. This one I played again for the first time solo on stream over on Twitch, and I really enjoyed it solo. And I think, I'm gonna say this, I think I've already said it, but I think I enjoy Tiny Towns solo more than I enjoy it multiplayer. So I'm gonna continue playing this solo. I really enjoy it. It's a great puzzle. It is easy to kind of get through it, but then it's still very brain burny with what cubes you're placing in certain spots. Really enjoy this one. And like with Parks, I would really love to get the 2 expansions for this as well eventually, just to make the solo kind of puzzle and challenge a little bit more difficult. I think that would be really fun. So that is Tiny Towns. Next up is a game that I think in my past solo board gaming video, I mentioned that I really wanted to play this solo because we only played it multiplayer, and that is Honey Buzz. I finally got this to the table solo again on a live stream, and it is so good solo. I really enjoyed this solo. You're going against the drone bees that kind of just block different spaces for you to get to, because in Honey Buzz you have your beeples that you are trying to place, or you are placing worker placement style on different spots to then pick up that coordinating tile to place into your beehive to then do actions. And the drone bees kind of just make it really simple. They just have a deck that you are flipping and then moving that drone bee to that worker placement spot that blocks you from going there for that round. So really easy solo variant. I really enjoy it. It's very intuitive, very simple to keep track of. There are some games in our collection that I would love to play solo, but the solo like AI kind of stuff is really confusing. One being Bitoku, which I would love to play solo, but the solo variant in that one is just very complicated, and the Honey Buzz solo variant is just simple, easy, and that is exactly what I love in a solo variant. So Yes, that is Honeybuzz. Next up is a solo game that I played in July. I have chatted about this one before, and that is Rolling Realms by Stonemaier Games. This is a roll and write where you have different realms that you're playing with, which are different cards that are kind of like little mini games that you're playing in threes. So basically in Rolling Realms, the solo variant is like a mini golf, and you're going through different holes that present different challenges. So it tells you what 3 realms that you're playing with, so the 3 cards or 3 mini games that you're playing with, and you're rolling 2 die and then putting those 2 numbers into 2 different realms in different ways to score points and score stars. And the cool thing about the solo variant is that it tells you what 3 realms to play with, but then it also presents you with some additional challenges. Some of them are like, oh, you have to have this many stars in this realm, this many stars in this realm, and this many stars in this realm. Or like you can't use this, or yeah, there's a bunch of different like challenges and things that you have to work with in different holes. So that sounds dirty. But anyways, I really enjoy the challenge of the solo variant of Rolling Realms, and it's one that I always go back to because it is just so easy to get to the table and it is a lot of fun. So that is Rolling Realms. And then the last game that I've chatted about before, but I don't know if I have chatted about actually playing it, but that is Coffee Roaster. This is the only one in this video that is solely a solo player game. So in this one, you are building a bag of different ingredients and different coffee beans at different roast levels, and you're building that bag over and over again until you are ready to then brew your coffee, and then you're trying to make the best coffee possible. So I really love this because there's 2 different phases. You're doing the roasting phase and then you're doing the brewing phase, and you can do the roasting phase not as many times as you want, but there's a certain amount of times that you can do it, and you can kind of move into the brewing phase as soon as you want to, but you know, you should do a few roasting phases before you go into the brewing phase, because in the roasting phase, you're building up your bag of different chips and stuff, and you're trying to get that bag as perfect as possible so that when you go into the brewing phase, you're picking stuff out of your bag to brew that cup of coffee that is going to get you as many points as possible. So yes, I really enjoy Coffee Roaster. I'm so happy that I finally added it to the collection, and it's the only solo-only game that I have, so it is very special to me, and I always go back to this one because it is just so simple to get to the table and set up and play, but at the same time it offers that really thinky, puzzly gameplay that I love. I think when it comes to solo games, I want games that are easy to get to the table, easy to set up, doesn't take too much space, but still offers that big and thinky gameplay that I really enjoy in bigger games. So yes, that is Coffee Roaster. So we are halfway through the video and we have 5 games remaining, and all 5 of these I don't think I've chatted about on the channel before when it comes to solo play. So the first one is one that I picked up at our friendly local game store, and this is Athenium Mystic Library by Renegade Games. This one I haven't heard a ton about, but I absolutely love the theme. I love the art and just the vibe of this game. I just love it so much. Basically, you are in a magical library and you are putting these books back on the shelf, and you're putting the books on the shelf in different ways to score different points. And in the solo variant, which this game is also multiplayer, obviously, all of them are aside from Coffee Roaster, but this has a little bit of card drafting, similar to Seven Wonders, where you have a hand of cards and you're picking one and then passing the remaining to the person beside you. But on that card that you're picking, it has what you get, and then also has what the 2 people beside you get, which is super cool, and it's something that I haven't seen in any games thus far. And basically on that card, it's giving you different books and different colors to then put on your bookshelf. There are different things you can get throughout the game, magic wands and different things, and you are basically getting points for what color books you have on your bookshelf. And in the solo variant, I really love the solo variant of this, which was made by James on the Board Game Geek website. I will maybe link that one down below. Definitely go check it out. James is over on our Discord, and he is such a wonderful guy, and he always comments on the videos. So shout out to James. Thank you for making a solo variant of Athenium Mystic Library, because it is wonderful. But basically, you are flipping 3 cards, but only one at a time, and you have to flip it, decide whether you either want to give that card to your AI opponent, or if you want to take the top things or the bottom things, because basically on the card you have 1 thing at the bottom and 2 things at the top. So for the first card, I would pick that I wanted to keep the bottom thing. I would flip over the second card, and then I would have to choose if I would want to give that card to the AI to score or to get the top things. So maybe I would pick that I wanted the top items on that card. So then the third card I would have to give to my AI or the AI to score points. So it's kind of like a little bit of a push your luck in a way, and I just really enjoy that part of the game, and this is a good one. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's not one that I hear a lot about, but it is a very fun game, and I'm very excited to get it to the table with multiplayer. So that is Athenium Mystic Library. Next up, we have another coffee themed game that I picked up at Breakout Con, and that is Cafe. This is a little card drafting game, but also like a, I don't even know how to explain this game. It's a little bit complicated to explain, but basically you are placing out these cards that have 6 different spots on them, and those 6 different spots get you different things in the kind of method of producing coffee, from getting the coffee beans to roasting them to grinding them to then bring them to a coffee shop or sell them to a coffee shop. So you're placing these different colored cubes and doing a bunch of different actions based on what you have on your cards in your little tableau. Such a fun game. You're also like covering up certain things, so you're losing certain parts of the cards that you're covering up, and it is just a fun one. I played this one quickly on like an evening with some tea, which is kind of weird because this is a coffee game, but I couldn't have coffee at like 10 p.m. But yeah, Cafe is one that I really want to play more of, and also multiplayer. Next up is a roll and write that I've had for a very long time, but I've never played it solo. I think this might have actually been like one of our first roll and writes, but I don't actually think technically I played it solo, because I played it with people on stream, but it was just me on the couch looking at a computer, so I'm counting it as a solo play, but technically I played it with others, if that makes sense. But that is Welcome to Your Perfect Home. This was so much fun to play on a live stream. Actually not on a live stream, but with a live stream. I was watching Banzinator or Bonzinator over on Twitch, and she had a community live stream where she played Welcome to with everybody. I believe it was for her birthday, but it was a lot of fun to play this. It was a good time. People are so much fun to play with over on Twitch, so I had to join in on the fun, and we played this one. It was good. Definitely recommend Welcome to. I'm excited to actually play it like full-on solo, but like I said, we're counting that one as a solo play. It was a lot of fun. Moving into our last 2 games of the month. The first one was sent over to me by Pencil First Games, so a huge shout out to them. This is a game that I've been wanting for so long, and I'm so excited to have it in the collection, but that is Herbaceous. This is just a really simple, it's actually a lot more simple than I thought it was going to be, but it is a card drafting game where you are putting out different herbs that then you are collecting to put into different types of pots. Very simple. I think this one is probably the simplest out of the trilogy of Sunset Over Water, Herbaceous, and Floriferous. They also sent over Floriferous, which I'm very excited to try and get to the table as well, both solo and multiplayer. But Herbaceous was the first one that I got to the table, and it was really fun. It is very simple, and I think it'll be a good one to just take to Mexico maybe. We are going to Mexico in December, so I'm excited to bring this one along, and just an easy one to get to the table when I just kind of want a chill game to play with a cup of tea. I think this one is a great one, so that is Herbaceous. And then the last game of the month. This is probably my favorite game of the month, my favorite solo play of the month. I really enjoyed this, and that is Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. I believe this was my top game of the month overall, if you guys saw the last video that I uploaded. But Dungeons, Dice, and Danger is a fantastic roll and write where you are going through a dungeon and you're defeating monsters with your dice rolls, and it is just so much fun. There's 4 die, there's 4 white die and 1 black die on your turn, which in the solo variant it's a little bit different, but on your turn in a multiplayer game, you have access to the black die, and you're just creating 2 different numbers by combining 2 die of your choice and then placing those in the dungeon in different paths in order to get different things, defeat different monsters, all of that. But in the solo variant, basically on your turn, if you don't hit a monster at least once, you have to scratch out one of your health bars. And once you get all the way down in the health bar, your game is over. So the health bar is kind of treated as like a countdown in the solo variant, which I really, really enjoy. It's a little bit stressful having to hit the monster every single turn, which it proves to be very difficult, but it was very fun, and I'm so excited to play more of the maps. This comes with 4 different maps. We've only played 1 of them. Did I play 2 of them? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I've only played 1, but I really, really enjoyed the first one, and I'm excited to explore the other 3 maps. But yeah, that is Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. So that is everything for this video. I will admit that I have filmed 2 videos today and my voice is slowly going away. So if it sounds a little bit weird, that is why. I have talked a lot within the last few hours. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing all of the solo games that I played in July. It was such a good solo play month. I really, really had fun, and I'm super excited to try more games. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of the games that I play solo are very just light, easy to table games. I would really love to challenge myself in August and maybe September to play some of like my larger games solo. Please let me know down in the comments of any games that you see behind me, or ones that you know that I have in my collection, or maybe that I don't have in my collection, that I should play solo, because I want to play more bigger, meatier games solo and challenge myself to do that, because I know I'm like afraid of that, and I think I should challenge myself to at least get 1 or 2 bigger medium games to the table. So yes, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below also any solo games that you were enjoying in July. I'd love to know. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to join the garden. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, weekend, wherever you're watching this. Love you guys so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.